with this, and I am going to share my screen. I hope that the sun in the back that I'm looking so forward to getting to isn't blinding you guys. It's a pretty nice day here today, so I'm excited. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. And I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Let's go ahead and get this. All right, so I'm going to admit a couple more individuals in, and we are going to get started. So, how to provide rental cars and fleet of cars to the government without owning them. And what do we need to do? We know there's so many changes, but a lot of it's calming down for the month of June. Got a couple of things I'll update you on that. I always do that also in our GovCon Lunch and Learn. And I really kind of focus on three main ways, and then I throw in something extra. So the extra is today all about the rental cars. There are basics on what I, kind of show you on how you can get started. So we know that there's been a lot of changes in 2025. And so my framework that I use is updated all the time. This is what we continue to do, even now, as of last week, on what we need to do to win government contracts. So we know that there's a lot of changes, but there's a lot of people winning contracts even now. I've said this a long time that it's a process, not a secret. There is a step by step. So I'm your host, Mrs. M. Good to see you. And I know I can talk rather quickly because I want to get you on and off and give you some good stuff that you can do as soon as you get off of here. So I'm going to talk rather quickly because I want to get you the information before we depart. And so, like I said, I love to give you the eye level, and then you guys are the high level, and then you guys can actually, good afternoon, hi, and then you guys can actually get more of the high level, and then the eye level is the real nitty gritty. So what I mean by that is if I say you're going to bake a cake and I say, okay, you're going to turn it on, 325, and you're going to put eggs in there, and then you're going to put milk in there, and then you're going to get the batter and you're going to mix it up. That's what I call high level. Eye level would be how long you would mix it up, how long you would leave it in the oven, what type of eggs. That makes a difference in the type of cake you're making. So that's what I mean by the difference in the eye level and the high level. Now, I hope I have your permission to give you as much as I can in this time frame. For anyone that is interested, then I would love to share with you an additional way if you're interested in working with me. So that's what I'm hoping I can do towards the end. Hope I have your permission to do that. All right? All righty. So let's get started. So we all know that you can win a government contract without being certified. What is the number one cert right now that they are utilizing in 2025 under the Trump administration? The number one cert is the small business cert. That means that you register in sam.gov. That is the number one that is being used. That means it's not woman owned, it's not hub zone, it's not 8A. It's small disadvantaged business, which you can actually, or I'm sorry, small business, not disadvantaged, just small business. Now, they are increasing a lot of the awards for the 8A in the hub zone and all of those. One area that is really picking up is with disaster recovery contracts and 8A. There are a lot of prime contractors that we're working with. We just spoke to someone yesterday. There are a lot of prime contractors that we're personally working with that are still doing contracts in North Carolina. They're getting paid. I know people think, oh, they're not getting paid. They are getting paid. There are lots of large prime contractors that are doing the majority of the business in North Carolina, in Florida, and Texas. And these prime contractors are working with other companies like ours. And we work alongside a couple other people. And right now, believe it or not, they are busier than what you could imagine. One of the advantages is when you partner as an 8A company with one of the primes. They're looking for 8As. So 8A with disaster recovery is a definite good match. So if you ever thought about getting your 8A, I know we do it. I know there's a lot of paperwork involved. You can do it on your own. But there's the capability narrative and a whole lot of other things that have changed. But I can tell you that if you're looking for the one certification that really, really, really gets you into the multi-millions of dollars, I mean, serious money for disaster recovery, is if you're an 8A, because the large primes definitely love to partner with an 8A company. So that's just something I want to share with you. So we've been fortunate and counting to win over $252 million with our contracts and our students. And so we have been so fortunate to have stories. You can look at some of our stories online. We have one with Bree, who followed our framework. And I could tell Bree was going to do well because she really, really wanted to do work in South Carolina, which is her state. She did pool contracts, which means contracts are pulled together from different counties. And she was able to win her first $1 million contract in South Carolina in 2023 after being with us for maybe 6 weeks or so. So she put the work in, followed a lot of things, and made it happen. So we love to teach. This is us at our various conferences. One of our favorite things is teaching. I teach at least twice a year because there's so many things that change. So I love doing the teaching. And this is our latest, where we do a thing called the Black Belt. These are $1 million people normally that are doing millions of dollars, or they are getting exposed to how to scale their business to $1 million. So all of us know that there is this thing called a capability statement. For those of you who stay to the end, we will have an outline. That means that we'll give you an outline of a capability statement. Now, what we do now is we use AI in everything. Everything we do, we use artificial intelligence, including showing our students how to set up everything with AI, from their introduction letter to the capability statement to the capability briefing, to invoices, anything you could think of. We add AI to our courses, our workshops, anything, because we know that it actually takes the place of probably 2 or 3 year admin people. I mean, literally, you could do a case statement, a capability briefing, and our students are getting a lot of capability briefings. I mean, the things we teach, they're actually doing. So they've got a lot of meetings, and so they're cranking these out left and right because we're teaching them what you need to do to put in to extract the information. With AI, you still need the human. You still got to kind of prompt it, and it's the prompts that make the difference. Some people give it too much. Some people give it too little. So the prompts are what extracts the information. And I mean, from finding a list of to call government buyers, to finding specific information about a government officer, to their phone number, to their email. I'm talking specific information is what is available on AI. It's amazing. So who is this for? This is for someone that is tired of doing the 9 to 5. I mean, you're just like tired of it. And let's see what question I had. Oh, thank you. The AI class was amazing this weekend. Thank you so much. You did attend our AR class workshop this weekend. Yes, we had a good time in our AR class this weekend. And we have another one today because we had so many people that couldn't do it on the Saturday, so they wanted to come today. So we do usually a weekend and a weekday. But this is for someone that's tired of working 9 to 5. You might already have a business, but you're not making enough money, and you really, really, really want to add government contracts. This is a really great way. I talk a lot about 6 figures. 6 figures and beyond is one of my favorite, because you can pay mortgages and children to college. You can retire. There's a lot you can do with a viable 6-figure business. So that's why I really focus on that. Average person wins between 18 and 36 months. And like I said, if you stay here with me, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do to get started. And I will talk about that AI class as well in just a second. Want to make sure I focus on giving you some good information. So what we're going to learn real quickly is the best ways. We're going to talk a little bit about AI and be specific about my sweet spot, tell you a little bit about dibs, and then I'm going to go right into how to lease cars to the government without owning them. So my favorite that you're always going to hear me come back to is my OBART. This is my framework. This is the framework that I personally use and that I teach over and over. I've been teaching since 2012 with government. Now, why did I come up with this? Well, I came up with it because after me doing so many different things, I knew that I was all everywhere. I ended up getting out of the Air Force after 12 years, and I really, really wanted to have a viable business. I tried doing the boutique. This is me and my little boutique. It was fun. I got to dress up, but I wasn't making any money because it wasn't something that people really, really needed. And I always knew I wanted a business that I could do several things. One, people needed it, and two, I could leverage it with other people. Because at this time, I was exchanging my time for money. And you can only do so much when you do that because there's so much time. So when you're doing government, you can use AI, which you can really use that for automation. I always say ADD, automate, delegate, delete. So I'm either going to look at automating it, delegating, or deleting it for a lot of what I do. And that's what I love about government contracts. You can leverage it with someone else doing the work. You can set it up where you can have employees, you can have the middleman doing sub for you. You can be a sub for someone. You can do dibs where you can sell products. All of this is something you can do. And that's one of the reasons why it's a great, great way to make six figures in your business. So once I realized that I wanted to do government contracts, one of the problems was I had heard so many negative stories like you guys. You got to have this. You got to do this. You got to know this. You got to be certified. You got to. I had all these different things. And I was like, well, what's really true? It's like all these things on the outside that I thought that you needed to have experience. You had to have past performances. You had to be certified. You had to make a certain money. You had to have certain credit. All of this I heard. And so I didn't know where to start, where to go. Do I get my cert first? Do I get my cage code first? Do I do state contracts? What do I do? And so after coming up with that formula, it narrowed it down to very simple. I had to really, really understand the one thing that made the difference, and that was the offer. The O is for your offer. Your signature offer starts everything for you. And I realized that because after that, my buyer, my avenue, my relationships, and my teaming came easy. Why was the offer so important? I'll tell you in a minute. Also, wasn't sure if I could get there. Okay, I got all the information, but it seemed hard. It seemed like it was all everywhere. So it seemed hard to me. So I had to realize the reason why it was hard is because I didn't have my systems. I didn't have my systems in place. So I didn't know what to do first, second, third. And government is a step. That's the thing about government. It's sort of like math. You have to know addition before you can do subtraction, multiplication. You guys get it. So I felt like I wanted to put in the work, but I didn't want to do all this work, not get anything out of it. Yeah, have you felt like that? You're like, I'm working hard, I'm working all these hours, you're doing you think you're doing everything right, but you don't see any results. That can be very frustrating. So I was looking at that as well. So why did it all come together? After I left my clothing boutique, I moved into doing facility management, and then I moved to Florida, started doing that, and then I ended up getting a contract for the state of Florida on their tolls, and I started realizing something. Wow, this isn't too bad. And I realized that I had started to find a system, even though I didn't realize I had. I had. What was the system? The number one thing I realized was, and this is what is so important. So I want you to get this one. First and foremost, got to have your mind straight. And this isn't the place or time for that, but I spent a whole lot of time on getting your mindset right. Big, big step. The next thing is that's the internal. The next is the external. So, how am I going to get what I need? My offer. Your offer is what starts the difference. A lot of you have a service or a product. I had an offer, and my offer was two or three things that I gave the government buyer that no one else was giving. So if I was doing A, I gave them A, B, and C. A, B, and C went along with it. For instance, we did elevator repair. So with the elevator repair, let's do this. With the elevator repair, we might have done elevator repair and we added an inspection form to it and we added an inspector where most people just did the repair. We were able to give them a time frame on how long we thought the repair would work, when it would be notified. We did all these different things. That's why we were able to do so well, because whatever we did, we gave them an offer. Because trust and believe, the government buyers are normally working with people they know. The first thing I talk to when I go to one of the large conferences is they'll ask, have you done anything in veterans? Have you done anything with Health and Human Services? Have you done anything with Department of Justice? They'll ask you that question because they want to know if you've done anything in that area of past performance. Well, most of us haven't. So it ends up being frustrating because it's like, okay, how do I get in there if I can't get in there? So like, how do I get the credit if I can't get the credit? And so one of the things you're going to have to work on is two areas: building the relationships, which is the R for my my OBART, and really working on that signature offer. Because I didn't know anyone, my signature offer really, really, really made the difference. It made my contracting officer, who didn't know me, feel as if I was going to give them something than just a service or a product. And I mean, like, if I go to the nail salon, you guys probably know there's a nail salon on every corner. What's going to make that one stand out? Well, it's not going to be the cheapest price because everybody can get down low. That's what a lot of people do in their industry when they're talking to the government buyer. They think that the price is what's going to make the difference. Sometimes it does if you're doing a quote, but sometimes it doesn't. What they're looking at is what are they going to actually receive with this offer? And like I said, what makes it go from an offer or from from a product to a service to an actual offer is what else is in there other than just what you're giving them. So if I go get my nails done, I want you to provide me with water. I want you to provide me with a quiet environment. I want you to provide me with cleanliness. I want someone that's experienced. I want someone that's got a certain quality of nail polish. If I get all of that, that is an offer instead of just a service. If I go to another nail salon and the only thing they have is the same thing everyone else does, guess what? It's like a commodity. There isn't anything you're giving me I can't get from Susan, Jack, or Billy. But if Susan, Jack, or Billy do something different, that's why I tell you to create a proprietary, unique name and then give it something that makes it an offer instead of signature or a product. When I was able to start doing that, when I was able to create an offer to the government buyers, they didn't mind taking a chance on me because they had certain beliefs about new businesses as well. Oh, they're not going to do a good job. They're probably not going to finish it. There's all these ideals that they have about you. So you've got to make them feel that you're coming prepared with the stuff. And you'll be surprised if you stay within that sweet spot of 25K to 250. You will start to see if you bring that offer, not just a service or a product, you'll start to really see the difference. So that's the one thing that I really want you to think about. And that's the one thing that the people that I know, my students that are banging it out, even in 2025, getting contracts in disaster recovery, getting contracts doing transportation, getting veteran contracts, even though they're not a veteran doing windows, is that one thing, is what they offer. So if they're doing Windows service, they're offering the Windows service and three other things that go along with it. That's the key. So after I started realizing that, I started teaching others, leveraging my people, and now I've been fortunate to do over about 25 government agencies, NACS codes. One of my favorite was GSA and Veteran Affairs, and I love doing the workshops. And now we're going to start with what you need to be able to see yourself closing your eyes, imagine a six-figure contract as well. So of course, we're going to go over the basics real quickly, and then we're going to jump on to what we need to do the fleet. So we need to have our website, no excuses, CAPE statement, introduction letter, capability briefing, elevator pitch. Boom, 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 boom. You need to make sure that you're registered in the DSBS profile, and you need to make sure that you're registered in the vendor profile of whoever you want to do business with. When I went to this last couple of weeks, I went to the largest government contractor conference, and we took some of our students, and that was the one thing they said they felt so prepared because everyone asked for a capability statement. They then set them up for a capability briefing, but they asked them for an elevator pitch right on, like, what do you do? And they were able to say it. Based on that, they asked for their CAPE statement. Based on the CAPE statement, they said, I'd like to set you up for a capability briefing. So don't believe that they're not asking for it. When normally will someone not ask for a CAPE statement? If you know them. That's going to be about the only time. If you know someone, you have a relationship, that's going to trump everything. Trust that. But then you've got to still be able to do the work. But the relationship is always going to trump almost pretty much everything. It's going to definitely get your foot in the door. Then what you know is going to keep you there. But if you don't and you're starting out, you've got to have that offer. You want the proprietary name to make you look really unique like we did. And you want to be able to have the basics here, just the basics. And of course, your cage code if you're doing federal. So this set me up for success, offer, buyer, avenue. That's how I'm winning. Relationships, building those relationships with those key players, including contracting office representatives, contracting officers, OSDBU, all of them, and then getting with other teaming partners, whether it's joint ventures or business owners. So let's kind of look at some of the things that I talked about, like don't think it's too hard, don't think you need previous government experience, and don't think it's hard to find government contracts. Okay, those are the three things I want you to know. If you don't know anything else, and then you got to have the mindset's got to be set on knowing you can do it. You've got to, that's where the work comes in. You want to set your internal thermostat on a six-figure business, because if you're still at five figures, no matter what you do, you can go to all my master classes, you can do all that. You're never going to do it. You're going to leave the notes. You're going to say, I'll do it later. You're going to procrastinate. You know the drill. You're just not going to get it in. All right. So let's go to what we need to do to actually win. So I'm going to hopefully get rid of some of your false beliefs. You're going to think of great experience that you've had that can make you get this. Everyone has a story. I'm a single parent. I work a 9 to 5. And then we've got this new bridge you're going to cross over. And that new bridge is going to land you where you want to be. So you can close your eyes and imagine quitting your job or paying your mortgage or putting a new roof on your house or getting a new home or being able to stay with your children during the summer. Whatever it is on the other side, that's what I want you to imagine. So there's a business model that I like. I personally used it for doing government. And one of them is when you are renting something to the government. Now, this particular one works really, really well if you're doing short term or if you're doing disaster recovery. These are some things that work really well with this business model. So the first thing you definitely need to do is be registered in sam.gov if you're looking at doing the car rental type situation. And this is the NAICS code. It is 532111. Now, where should this NAICS code be? It should be in sam.gov if this is something you really think you're going to do. I probably wouldn't change it unless I really thought it was something I wanted to do. So you might test it out a little bit, see if you can find some of these opportunities before you go and change it on your, let's see if I can let them in. Hold it 1 second. Okay, here we go. So you might want to wait before you change it, update it on your, hold on 1 second, let me go down here. Can you put the code in the chat? Sure. So the code is going to be 532111. That's the code. So that's what needs to be. And that code is specifically for passenger car rentals, like a fleet. That's what that is. Now, if you're doing it state, then you want to look at the state procurement. That's where you're going to find the opportunities. So like EV is in, Virginia, Florida Marketplace is Florida. You should know your state procurement. If you don't, that's what you want to do. Always know your own state procurement or other states you want to do business with. But remember, if you're in a different state, you're going to team up or you have to be registered in that state. You cannot do a bid in another state without being registered in that state. Federal, you can. All right. So we're going to understand that difference. So now the key here also is to now partner with another company. You've got to partner with Hertz or Avis. Avis is my favorite, or Enterprise. They're another good one. So you want to partner with them. Now I did this in Florida, so I'm going to give you my personal experience that I had. My favorite was, depending on when it was, Enterprise is good, and then Avis. I really didn't do a lot with Hertz, but there are also other companies in Florida, quite sure in your area as well, where they have a pretty nice fleet that you can use. I know even some people went to some car places that may not have been rental cars, that were on their, like to say the owner owned them, and they struck up a deal with the owner of the car place. So not necessarily a rental place, but a car dealership where the cars were there and the owner was interested in partnering in the situation. So start getting your imagination of thinking the things you can do. Now, the other thing is you want to negotiate a rate card. That means you're going to negotiate understanding that you're doing a memorandum of understanding. All the I's and D's and T's need to be crossed in here. That means everyone knows, for like an affiliate link that I have, everyone knows the percentage, everyone knows all the information. And that is very important. Now, talking about the high levels, so I'm not getting into the nitty gritty of what needs to be on your memo of understanding, but you can get the gist of, you can Google it or whatever, but you do need to have that. The other thing that I know that we did was, every time I'm really looking at doing this and doing it seriously, like when I was doing debris removal or facility support services or staffing, which is one of my favorite. I love staffing. Love it, love it, love it. The one thing that I did is I always come up with a unique program name. So I had one for this. And then I made sure my capability statement was tailor fit for this because I know this is a specific thing I wanted to do. I know it worked like magic. And so that was something I really wanted to. So I wanted to update everything because I was going all in. That was just me. So you want to make sure that you have like your vendor relationships. You want to talk about the type of vehicles you're going to have, where you're going to be, where they're going to be located, what coverage you're going to have, and are you going to do any emergency or same day service? All of that you want to make sure that you have on your capability statement. That way, what do we say? When they look at that case statement, they should be able to tell what you do in 6 seconds or less. So that's something you really want to make sure you pay attention to. Now, where do I find these opportunities? Like I said, if you're doing local, you go to EV, you go to Florida Marketplace, Texas Buys, wherever it is. They also have it on GSA eBay, very big on GSA eBay, or eBay, I'm sorry. And then sam.gov has a lot of opportunities. Now, I know a lot of other places that you can do it. These are some that are free. I know GSA eBay, and I know that Sam does. And there's other places as well, but that does give you a start. Now, one of my favorite was doing short-term rentals, especially making sure I put it together, coupled it with disaster recovery. That's a good fit right there. A lot of individuals' cars are damaged during the flood. You can see the cars floating in the water. So that's a good thing you can do. And once again, with this coming up June 1st is the hurricane season. I don't know. I haven't detected if it's supposed to be really, really busy. But what you don't want to do is wait until the action. There's so many people, Miss M, I'm ready to do it. Well, it's happening then. So by the time you're in it, it's already happening. It's a little day late, dollar short. So this is where you really want to get started because the busy season is like August, but you want to get your foot in the door, start building relationships, start getting your case statement, start getting all your stuff together now. Okay. So you want to make sure that you do like disaster response rentals, short-term rentals, make sure it's real specific. These are real high demand areas for FEMA, DOD, personnel transportation, local police departments are a big one. And then sort of like temporary things that agency needs. So that's kind of like your need right there. Now you're going to fit it. And what are you going to do? You're going to make sure you have an offer. Yes, every one of you can come up with 3 things that you offer. 3 things, not just your service. Remember, that's when you're just providing a service. But an offer encompasses more than just the one thing you do. Okay, so start working on that. The one thing else I want you to do is I want you to really focus on putting your contracts together, what I call pass-through pricing. What that means is you want to put your administration fee in there. Like I put a lot of fees on my contracts so that there was a cleanup fee or whatever it is, administration fee. You want to make sure that you have like a service markup fee, a delivery fee, all of that you want in there in the contract in the beginning. Now, yes, you want to make sure your contract is looked over by an attorney if you're really looking at doing this. All your I's are dotted, T's are crossed. That's one of the things you want to make sure that you do. All right. So that's really important. And you want to make sure that you really, really give the understanding you are not the owner. So that's the key. You're not the owner. You are a broker for the person you've made the relationship. What is the hardest part of all this? And when I get done, I'll tell you, we're almost on the last step. We're looking at maintaining our insurance and license. So you're going to make sure you have the right license. You're going to have your commercial, GL for vehicles. Sometimes it's not that expensive. You want to be listed as an authorized reseller by your rental partners. You want to have the proof of insurance, just like when they were doing Uber drivers, they had to have certain things if they were Uber driver that covered them. So don't forget that. And the hardest part of this is probably knowing how to approach the individual where they don't think of wanting to do that for themselves because you're bringing the ideal to them. Maybe they have other things going on and they've never thought of it. So you might want to do a non-disclosure agreement or something in there so that you don't give someone an idea like at a local place where maybe they have a lot of cars. They've never thought of government contract. I hear it all the time. And then this might be something that you want to make sure you really hold tight to the vest until you get all the particulars worked out. Definitely want to make sure you do that. This has worked absolutely phenomenal. Definitely has worked, done so many things for us in our business. The state of Florida has and was very good to me. There's a lot of opportunities in the state of Florida because of all the disasters and things like that. So when I moved to Florida in like 90 something, 98, I don't remember when it was, there was a hurricane. There was three more when I got there. And I just got in, just right in looking at things I could do and never turned back. So DR is always one of my favorite. So many opportunities. Now I gave you high level, not eye level on this. Of course, AI can be used for this when you're looking at a lot of stuff. Like I said, when we had our AI workshop this past weekend, we gave a lot of information that just takes the place of an admin person. You can get list of prime contractors that you can work with. You get list of partnerships you can work with. You get a list of people that might be able that have already done this in your area. What can you create that's going to make it more favorable? There's so many things AI can do for you. It takes the place literally of like 2 or 3 people if you do it the right way. So that is my area. Of course, I always talk about DRC, disaster recovery contracts. Definitely, 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 you want to use this as one of your ways. The middleman, love the middleman. This is sort of like that. This is a typical case of the middleman. You don't own it. Sort of like Uber. Uber doesn't own the cars, but they are the person in the middle. Airbnb, they don't own the houses. They're the ones that's connecting it. That's the same business model. Same, same, same. Okay. Now, of course, there's some I's in there, needs to be dotted, some T's crossed, but you get the gist of it. And that is my goal, is to get your mind thinking of things you can do that can make this happen. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish up. So hopefully you're on this other side. You're thinking, what can I do? Is making sense to you. You're thinking of that summer vacation, that house, that summer home, that one opportunity that you missed that you wish you couldn't. Whatever your big reason why is, that's that other side of the bridge. That's it right there. That's what this is for, to get that on that other side. So whatever things you think you can, because I've used this framework over and over and over, and I've taught it, and it works like a charm if you do the work. You have to put done. It's not just magic. That's the thing. So you have to definitely put the work in. So what I love to do is give you several vehicles that you can use to get there, and hopefully I did. And for anyone that's interested, then this is where I would love to give you more if you are interested in more than just what I've given you. Hopefully you've got enough to get you started, but if you want a little bit more, then what we have is our DRC with our AI in there. If you're just interested in the AI workshop part, I will give you our number, and then you can text us, and then we'll text you that link. But if you're interested in the entire thing, the new way to find this type of platform that I'm talking about is in this course, the DRC course, talking about the new partners that we're going to partner with that are coming up in the next couple of months, all the changes that are going to happen with GSA doing a lot of bidding, all the new things that are going to be with FEMA, with doing government for contracts, federal, state, all of that is our DRC disaster workshop. So it has workbooks, PDF, cheat sheets. We have an accountability team. You get 2 weeks on our bid platforms to find a lot of this I'm talking about. I share with you how to do AI to find specific things, how to get the real nitty gritty of what you're doing. We have on-demand training, 24/7 full access, and you have a lifetime for that. Live coaching from our expert team, and our chat GPT to nail down calling scripts, templates, all of that. So this is what we offer for this particular course. We've had phenomenal success from this, and it works for anyone that's trying to work it. So I love helping you get positioned, and our workshops are usually about, can come to a value of $697, or, classes and all that. And this could easily come up to $1,500. And actually we're doing this for $297 for the next hour. And then after that, it automatically goes to $397. So if you're interested, I'll put this in the chat. And what that looks like is I have a live every month. I do a live for an hour and a half on this workshop. I am talking about the prime contractors that we're connecting with. I am going to talk about the AI all the new changes. And if you know me, you know me, you would become a lifetime student. And we've added a lot to it. So it is kind of like new. Let's see if I have questions. Let's see. Is this different than the course? You're in the course, so you're good. You're fine. Um, so you wouldn't need anything else. How we approach the car rental company without giving them much info. Well, that is the trick. How you approach them would have to be your template that you send out. We have an email template that we have for our students because the approach is everything. So you're going to have to find a way, either Google, like approaches with that information. But we have specific templates that we give you that you send out that's created just for that. Because there are some people, like, you can do a non-disclosure. I'm going to share, I'd like to have a meeting with you and I don't really want to go into the detail. And then you have them do a non-disclosure before you get started and share. That might be a way that you can maybe start it. Because I know that it's a really great idea. And if they have the car, you might not tell them who you're connecting them with. I know someone that we could do the fleet of cars. So you always want to leave out a piece of the puzzle that they need you for. Because Uber, the people that are driving, they don't know that Uber has the app to tell them where the people are to be picked up. If they knew, they wouldn't need Uber. And Airbnb is the same thing. So you need the host or the platform or the app of Uber in order. You've got a car, but you don't know where the people are to be picked up. And so that's why a lot of times when people get in the car, they'll try to make a relationship with the people if they use Uber on a regular basis so they don't have to go through the app. But that's only one person. So it would be hard to get all these people lined up. But that's the advantage of Uber. If Uber let you know the people, then the Uber drivers wouldn't need Uber and they wouldn't need to pay the money. So that's where you've got to hold that in there. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything. I love your classes, workshops. You're absolutely on point. I just received, thank you so much for that compliment. What number do you text for the AI course, or we have taken other courses? So the AI course is brand new, absolutely new. Um, we've never taught the AI course. So the AI course is going to be how to do several things. I just received my cage code. Does class C steps to win? Absolutely. We teach you steps to win, how to win the government contracts. We just really focus on when you're brand new, we focus on 25 to 250 in certain areas you're going to have the most success. Disaster relief. One of the things we're doing now with the DIBs is giving you a list of products. One of the great things about DIBs is if you're not a manufacturer, it's hard to put enough of a markup on something that anyone can buy. Most people tell you go to Alibaba. Well, everyone goes to Alibaba. So we have a list of manufacturers that might be someplace like Vietnam. They might be in Thailand. They might be in South Korea, or they might be in other places where you can get the products. And that's something that we offer in this course, that you can get the products so you can mark it up because you're not the manufacturer, which means there's going to be a little bit of price you're going to be able to get with DIBs. Now I know people that are banging it out, doing 5 million a month in DIBs, but trust and believe they've got a source, and it's not Alibaba. And part of the thing with doing this is you got to get them to respond to you. So if I know that I want a source of water and I want to sell it to the government for DIBs on DLA, I've got to be able to get it other than Alibaba and other on Amazon. I can't use those two sources. Everybody can do that. So I need my own supplier that I've got a relationship with that I can get that water from, or whatever it is that I'm looking to get. That's the key. So if you are interested in the DRC, which teaches you how to do the AI government, the whole nine, and it is a great place. This is one of the first beginnings that I offer for anyone that's brand new. This is the link for that. So that's the link for that. And if you hold tight, I'll put the link in there. Or if you just text me at this number and we'll give you the link for the AI course. So the AI course starts, I think, on Monday. Because we did the workshop and we had so many people that wanted more. And it's like $297. So it's not like it's a whole lot. But money is money. I don't mean to say it like that because $1 is a lot. But I'm saying I'm not trying to make it where it's a whole lot. But we're giving you, my goal is to give you a lot because I tried to give a whole lot in the workshop. And I just realized that there was so much more that people wanted, and we decided to do it into like a course. So the course is $297 for the AI. We go into financing, we go into funding, we go into finding all the lists for suppliers. We go into how to do things for a small business with AI, and then specific for state and government. So I think there's like 6 modules that you get. So if anyone is interested in that, the first one is for the DRC. You're going to have AI in there that's going to be specific for. But if someone's interested in AI, small business, government, that's different, then just text me here and we'll shoot over the link to you. And the course is going to be self-paced, and then I always do a coaching, because I always like to have you do it with me. So that means we're going to work together when we do that coaching. So you'll go through it self-paced, you have access all the time. You have, of course, our contact number. We're available Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to actually talk to a person, which is very rare nowadays. We have our email support, Facebook group, all of that. And I have been doing AI for a minute. And when I tell you I've fallen in love with it, I have fallen in love with it. It is amazing what it can do. I mean, amazing. It blows my mind. So if anyone's interested in the AI for the 297 that goes in all that I mentioned, it does start next Wednesday, and it's $297 one-time investment fee. If you're interested in the DRC workshop, we do cover the middleman, the AI, and both of them are going to cover the car rental and other models for renting. I'll have because I'm showing you not just one, but I'm gonna show you like 3 or 4 ways that you can make money with other things that you rent to the government that you don't own. Because I know I did that and it really helped out a lot. A friend of mine sent me here to get started with contracts and to get going with Sam. Is this where to get the mounts and build something? Yes. So we do. I'm in the Gov Cleaning Academy. Am I good? Yes, you're good, Miss Worlds, because you're in the Crack the Gov code. So we've added some of that to people that just started. So not to the old, but for the new. You just started, so you're good. Um, Yes, we do it for you. We have a done for you package. So if you're interested in that, you would go to our website, and the done for you package is here. So that is the govedge.com. That's our actual website. Our company's the GovEdge. That's our website. I did put the link in there for anyone that would be interested in the DRC. Like I said, it's $297 for an hour. Anyone that might be interested in the AI and all that it includes, then that's $297, and that one starts on Wednesday. So, do you have any other questions before we wrap up? Anything else? And this is the number again that you would text if you're interested in that one. And if you're interested in us doing it for you, that's our done for you package. I gave you our website. It takes you there and gives you all that information. Our AI is not even on our website because it's so new. We just started offering that when we had so many people that wanted the whole thing. So that's when we started that. Any other questions? Anything else? Well, I had a fun time giving you that. Thank you for the possibilities. Hopefully you're getting your thoughts going about some things you can do, implementing these things today. That's our goal, for you to keep on doing it, keep making that money, not allowing any situation to change. No, government, administration. There's just so many ways to make money. And like I said, we're working with, and we do have a 3-day money back guarantee. We're working with the GSA and getting all information. They give us a meeting every Wednesday. Got a big announcement coming out next Wednesday on the bidding. They're going to be taking over all the bidding for government. So we're going to have that. So the real question right now is, drum roll, what are you waiting for? Whether you're looking at going with me or you're looking at staying on your own. Of course, for me, I'll add the blueprint and the speed. And, it's like quantum leap because I've been there. So hopefully I save you time, energy, and the whole nine. That's the goal. So you guys have a fantastic day. And I think I have one other question here. Let's see. What else? Let me see if I can get down here. Always great in education. You get that. Miss, it was absolutely phenomenal. Oh, thank you guys. I'm certainly going with you. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, guys. I love what I do. I hope it comes across. I'm so blessed to be able to do this. I know it's a blessing. And I always like to say, let me give testimony here because it's not me. So thank you guys so much. And you have a fantastic day. You've got everything that you need. You've got the phone number. You can call that or text it, and you've got the link. And once you sign up, you automatically get all the information. So let's get it. Let's make that six figures. Let's get it. Have a fantastic day, you guys, and we'll see each other soon. Okay, bye-bye. I think I had two more questions. Did I have two more things? Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Okay. Yeah, do you course? Yeah, this is a course, Miss Bell, for beginners. This is the very beginning. We go over SAM with you, how to get your cage code, all of that. And we are here to hold your hand because that's why we have the actual people. So this is a course for beginners. Absolutely. It's where you would start. I promise you. I take my time and we make sure you feel comfortable. I have a team that helps do that, not just me. All right. I have salmon cage, but don't know the steps. Yeah, a lot of people have salmon cage, and that's like real small. That's like the baby. So yeah, salmon cage didn't get you any far at all. That's why I talked about the offer that starts you, and then the buyer. Where are they? And that's where that system and that framework that I show you comes into play. That's where it comes with. So which one should sign up for is which one haven't already have the cage code. If I want the totality, I would definitely go with the DRC, the disaster relief, because that's the one that's going to give you all the steps. The AI is just like, I'm going to give you some of that, but the AI is more people that already advanced, kind of already got their system in place. They just want AI to make it faster. So I'm going to give you enough, but I would start with the DRC because that's your basics. That's getting you out with your offer, your buyer, and learning how to do it. So Gov is DRC. So Gov Edge is for disaster relief contracts. Yeah, that's my company is Gov Edge, and DRC is disaster recovery contracts. And so we teach that, or we do it for you. We have done for you packages where we get your cage code, we look for finding you a quote, we do all that. But for people that want to learn how to do it, we say, we give you a fish and you eat the one day if you learn how to fish. So we don't mind which one, we do it for you if you like. But some people want both. They want the course and they want it done for them. That's why we have all that on our website. But for the DRC, that is the Gov Edge. That's what it is. Yes, that's what the link is. It'll say DRC. Gov Edge is DRC, disaster recovery. How's it done for? I do have an affiliate link um, for someone that may want to refer someone for 8A. So if that's the case, then definitely give us a call because 8A, I just did an 8A over the weekend and I've got the checklist right here. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I think I've got the 8A checklist right here. It's somewhere on my desk. As you can see, it's there. But there's about maybe 15 or 20 documents that you need. I want to learn how to do the 8A. Do you have a course for that? Yes, our course we have is we have like a cert course where we show you how to do the 8A. We walk you through it, and we have a consulting where we work with you and walk you through 8A. So if you're doing it with us, if we're not doing it on our own, then we walk you through the 8A. It's less expensive because we give you all the documents you need. We do the capability narrative. We do your org chart. There's things that you need that we do. So that would be a part of consulting. We have consulting on our website that you can look at as well. So if you guys can I have the link done for you? Sure. The link done for you is right there on our website. The Gov Edge is right there and this is the website right here. So I'll show you my website. So let's go there. So that way you can see it. Let's see if I can bring it up here. So I'll go to our website so you can see it. So this is our GovEdge website. And so this is where you would want to go. This is right here. This is our services. So these are our packages where we do it for you. It's called Let's Do It For You, Help You. So the starter package, we give you what all that is. We have our small business silver package. We give you what all that is. We have our gold business gold package. We give you what all that is. And then we have our Gov Edge. All of them, you're going to do a payment plan. None of them you have to pay outright except for the small business. So we can do a la carte. So let's say you've got some things in one, we can make sure that we swap out things to have that. And then our consulting, if you want us to help you with your 8A, these are our consulting. So 3 hours is $497 for one-on-one like we're doing now. We have 6 hours for $947. And for any premium consulting more than 6 hours, we suggest our black belt. Our black belt is one of our favorite ones. You get all of everything, and that's our membership. So our black belt program is one of my favorite. Now, we give people a discount. It says, and let me explain why the black belt is premium. We do two. I'm going to Florida next week, or no, May the 20th to meet with my black belt members. Black belt, you have the most access to me. You have other group members that are there too. We walk you through the done for you. We walk you through the AI. Any and everything that we offer, you get with it with the black belt. Now, the black belt is designed to get you to 1 million in a year. And so it is 2,497. You pay 1,000 down. You do monthly payments of $200. I think it's 7 months, and you're with me for 1 year. What does that look like? That we have a black belt membership. That means you meet with me for free with at my conferences. I meet at least once to twice a year, Arizona, Florida, DC. When you meet with me, we're doing all kinds of things. I like to do health and wellness. I'm focused on government, state, and federal. I'm focused on financing. So I'm showing you some of my asset building things that I do. I have a lot of guest speakers that have already done 1 million and beyond. So that is what it's for. The reason why some people like that membership is because it encompasses everything. You get one-on-one with me every month for the 12 months. You get my conferences that are included. That's what our black belt team, that's who you saw, they were there. They're just us. So you get other black belt members that are with you. So you've got other people that are thinking like you, and this is a heavy investment. So we know people are serious. That's why we because we put the time in. You get all the courses underneath at no cost. AI, anything showing you how to do 8A. You say, hey, Miss M, when I do my one-on-one, I want you to walk me through the 8A. So we walk you through the 8A. That's a part of the membership. So that is that. It's listed here. If you come here, and so we have our hot seat each month, you get to choose someone so it's listed at 4,997, but we do it at 2,000. I think it's 2,497 for anyone that is coming through this way. So let's say you don't know me and you just go on there, that's the price you're paying. If you come to anything that I'm offering, I give you the discount. I have the link for that. And we do our new members appreciation. We started right away because you get an onboarding with me. So you get an onboarding with me for that. Like I said, it's 1,000 down, and then you pay monthly payments. And let me see what the question is. But that is the one that a lot of people like because it gives them AI, it gives them DRC, it gives them crack the gov code, it gives them government, it gives them proposal writing, it gives them certification. And they have a good time with all the new members. And they have the new members and all of that, so they love that one as well. I want this one. Oh my god, this is awesome. Yeah, we ended up there's some great women that are just fantastic. So let me turn off my camera. I'm going to get that link because I don't want to show anyone's email, and I'll be right back. Hold 1 second. Let me just kind of turn off my camera so you don't see anyone's email while I'm doing that. And then we have a black belt platform also. So anyone that's taken anything with me, you know how you get the black belt platform or the platform. So let me hide that and you guys can hear me. Let me go here and get that, and I'll put that in there as well. So for anyone that might be interested, that is one of the things that we have. And let me go back here and get that as well. So give me just a couple of minutes to get that here, and I will share that with you. Let's come back here. Let me sign in. Okay. And I will hurry, hurry, hurry so I can give you guys this and get you off because I kept you longer than what I wanted to. So let me make sure I get this real quickly. Cancel and enter password and okay. 1 second, let me get that. And I do share with you a lot of the different admin tricks that we use that really help you build a team. So a lot of onboarding. Like I said, this is to look at getting you towards that $1 million. So let me go ahead and go here. Almost done. Let me go in here and I'm almost ready to come back on. I just don't like to, like I said, share any information where you can see someone else's stuff. Have to be very mindful of controlling and not having anyone see it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here it is. And that's it. Okay, so we've copied it and I'm going to put that in there right now. And let's see. Okay, copied. And now I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to come back and turn back on my camera. And here we go. All right, so I'll put that in here for you. And let's see. Okay, here we go. So anyone that's interested in that, here it is right here. What I love about it is I've always belonged to a mastermind. That's what this is. A mastermind is a group of like-minded people that act as the board of directors for you. You get access to some of the most serious, really want to build their business people, and proximity is everything. If I had to say what has helped me grow more than anything else is other people that are well ahead of me. And I've been in a group in my entire business. I've not ever been in one other than beginning when I was really finding my way and didn't know how serious it was about business. Once I realized how serious I was, then I wanted to invest in certain things I'm not going to be able to teach myself. I know that. I need someone else that's going to be ahead of me that can teach me that. And other people that are well ahead of me. Because if you ever have friends that they're thinking X amount of dollars is absolutely great and it might be great for them, but you're looking at living a much, much more abundant life, a much more living loud. And some people don't understand that because you're with people that have a more of an employee or an employer mindset, like, an employee, not an employer. They're still thinking of someone telling them how much money they can make. They got to take vacation when they say it. And these could be people that are making six figures, but they still don't have the mindset of abundance, of being able. And I really do a lot of mindset because that's where it all is. So anyway, that's it. Those are different links. You've got the website, you've got the phone if you have any questions. And I am going to go. You guys have a fantastic day. And thank you so much for being here. And call me if you have any questions. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.